another welcome. Again, it's still FFA Masters League. This is match, I think, number 7. And once all these players loaded into the game, hopefully without disconnects. Yes, wow, that was a quick loading. And not so decent, like not the best positions here for spawn positions for Godfather and for Wicked, who's subbing. So let's start to introduce the players. First of all, with me is Zexy and I am LilTic. Just in case.
Yeah, what's up, guys?
Just in case you're watching this on YouTube. And starting at the bottom right, we have SyDe, the legendary French one-on-one player who played his first event in December, his first FFA event. It was TBR, and he became much better in FFA quickly. So he was really open to it. Like, he played it before already, but he became a lot better, and also in one-on-one. But he definitely played some very solid matches. So I'm very interested to see what he's up for. And he's known for his Dreadlord, so might go for Dreadlord here. We'll see.
So interesting enough that SyDe went for the quest build.
Yeah.
With the both undeads did, but then he built a ziggurat still. So it kind of defeats the purpose of the quest build, right?
Kinda, yeah. That's right. But he's going. I mean, it's not the quest build, right? If you go for the altar on tier 1, so it's not full quest build. But I kind of see.
So like if you see Wicked, he went for the altar also, but he didn't build the ziggurat because he doesn't necessarily need the ziggurat, you know?
Yeah, no, for sure. But I mean, I guess it depends. Like, if you, it depends how many ghouls you want to get. Like, if you, like we will see who's, like, who comes out on top, and we see SyDe going for way more ghouls already here. So
Right. The SyDe is just basically replacing a graveyard with the Necropolis.
Yeah.
In Dreadlord ghoul build, which is fine. Where I think Wicked is more so like the quest build.
But with Dreadlord too, I really like that. And we know SyDe is going for Necro Wagon very frequently, and so is Wicked. So I'm very interested to see if we will see it. I'm not sure I've ever seen an early Necro Wagon fight, like against from 2 players, both playing Necro Wagon. That would be amazing.
That would be interesting.
Yeah.
Destroyers are the name of the game there.
Yeah, for sure. Godfather, I think he played random.
Wicked's doing the 3 acolyte creep here.
Ah, nice. Yeah, the pro creep. FFA is so nice. Like, you always see new stuff here. And you can creep quite well on this map with ghouls, I guess. Like, there are a lot of, like, not easy creep camps, but creep camps with small creeps, so you can get skeletons real quickly.
Sure.
Yeah, and Godfather is going for the counter clock expo here. That's nasty. I mean, it's okay in his position here, but that's typical Godfather. And obviously this is a no chat game, so yeah. Interesting.
Can you hear my voice okay?
Yeah, sounds fine.
Okay.
Yeah, if it's not fine on stream, I hope someone will tell me, but for me, it's
okay.
Fine.
I'm pretty sure it's as loud as I can go.
No, it's perfect. I just figured out that it wasn't your volume that wasn't loud enough earlier on, but it was my computer volume. That's why I couldn't hear you loud enough. And
okay.
But it's fine now. All right.
So I mean, Godfather took the right expansion, right? Counterclock, the way that the positions are spawned.
Yeah, which is the wrong one, arguably. But LilTic,
why is that?
Like, you would always go for clock, right? Like, I mean, clockwise is...
I mean, it's just based on the positions, right? Because clockwise would be into the surround, where counter would be outside of the surround.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. Like one of these surrounded players needs to take that expo anyway, so it doesn't make. I like. It's an advantage like this. It's an advantage for Wicked because Wicked can get 2 expansions because he.
Yeah, I see.
So, but I would always go for clockwise expansion, and especially in this position, as Godfather will most likely face LilTic in with these spawns. It's not wise, I think, to have your expo exposed to that player. Unless it's your second one, and he is attempting, and I think that's a mistake here by Wicked potentially, that he's not going for that second expansion here. I think he could have tried to do that.
Yeah, he's heavily teching fast, right? He's almost halfway to tier 3 already.
Yeah. Yeah, we forgot to introduce LilTic, the Czech player, human player, who won an FML season, and he has decent micro, very unique strat. He plays very passively usually, and always manages to defend with 50. So he banks up a lot of gold on very few mines usually, but not this time. He's going for Rifleman here. He might be a bit rusty too. Hasn't played in a long time, and the last time we saw him going for Rifleman was, I think, in season 30 on Fountain of Manip, and he failed horribly. Like, he said he wanted to try something new, but like last time I saw him going Rifleman Paladin, it was not working out well for him.
Yeah, the only games I've seen him win is kind of standard Archmage, hoard a lot of gold, wait until the end, be patient.
Yeah, and he's really good at that, like late game decision making, hiding gold, hiding units, that kind of stuff. Like, he really shines.
This isn't a good decision.
No. Like, he could do that with Archmage and MK maybe, but not with Paladin and full Rifleman.
These level 5 heretics have Carrion Swarm that dominate these range units. Alright, so SyDe, like you said, is the pro French solo player. His creep route seems fine. He's got this early red camp now, which is nice. Oh, Brilliance Aura. Beautiful item there. Best item he could possibly get. He's going a little bit slower as far as the macro. Now, here's one thing, is his Shredder is pretty late. He just got it here, which is fine. But, you know, you want to get the Shredder at the earliest opportunity you can. You see his Wood and his tier 3 is pretty slowed. So if Wicked now being tier 3 with the Shredder, although Wicked doesn't have any production buildings, so if Wicked would have, for example, you know, went to fast Frostworms and went Frostworm Gogs with a good macro, then he could have rushed out SyDe potentially right here, who only has 1 crypt, very little wood, tier 2.
Yeah,
seems like he's going to be able to catch up though in macro.
Yeah. Yeah, due to his position here, having the second mine earlier, and I'm really surprised that Wicked is prioritizing these mid creeps over a second expo. I would always go for a second expo, but you don't necessarily need that if you want to go for an early push. But we'll see here. Like, he is getting up as temples, 2 temples. So he's going for full Necro Wagon push, and I'm curious to see if SyDe is going to scout that in time. Like, it will be very interesting to see him defending against the Necro Wagon push, while he's usually the one going for that. Yeah, Shade coming.
Yeah.
But you're right.
Godfather with a really late Shredder again. Oh, a double Shredder. Never mind. So I like the double Shredder with human. You can build 2 blacksmiths that way and just pump out 3/3 upgrades on both and go for like fast Griffin gyrocopters, something like that.
Yeah, and you steal the Shredder from an enemy player. So Pink is left without a Shredder for now. Which...
Who?
Pink has
he
no
doesn't
Shredder.
have one still?
No.
Yeah.
And he won't get one now. Does he?
He just got
he got one. He got one. Oh, never mind. My bad.
Still though, pretty late. I mean, it's been 24 hours of game time until you got that Shredder.
I'm very surprised. Like, usually, it would be like explainable for SyDe, who's a one-on-one player usually, but most FFA players that I'm like decent FFA players, like Shredder is the first thing you try to get. Once it's ready, you wanna get it. Especially on a map where you can get it comparatively uncontested. Like on Silver Pine, there are some, if the mid is very crowded on Silver Pine, I think it can be a huge risk to go for it because you can lose it so easily. But on this map, it's like no risk at all to get it.
Yeah. Yeah, general rule of thumb when playing free-for-all, you should always have your macro down to at least have one expansion, if not two, level 3 and a shredder before you hit tier 2.
Yeah.
And have that all pretty early. And if you have that, then you have a good base, and whether or not you want to expand again or go to 80 or whatnot, you know, you have the options to do that.
Wow, cut gas pipe for Wicked. That's the item he needs. The best item by far, I guess.
Nice. Well, both undeads got the Khadgar's pipe.
Oh, really? Okay, so I got it too.
And
that will make it even more fun here.
Human got the Endurance Aura, which is really good for them. And what did Pink get? Not sure where Pink's army is at, actually.
In a Zeppelin here behind his main base. He's taking the helicopter.
Okay. He got a Staff of Silence.
Yeah, also very decent against the undeads. Not that important, I'd say, with these healers against Human. I mean, Human has Divine Shield, so he can heal anyways. It's just the MK that you will affect, and maybe the priests, but...
So SyDe...
Ooh, SyDe going to...
He can get the Death Knight, though.
Wow, yeah, he sold the TP. Oh, he could pass the TP. He could pass the TP. He has a TP on his Dreadlord. Never mind. Yeah, the Creeper's dealing quite some damage here, so...
So SyDe is going for early gargoyles, and you can see his macro is not very good, right, SyDe? It's still... I mean, he's obviously a pro solo player, but he's 57 food, he only has 2 crypts, very little production buildings.
Yeah.
That's going to be fine, because Wicked may not be able to capitalize on that macro.
He's going for double boneyard now, so I mean, if yeah, I guess that's not the worst call. I mean, it's against Necrowagon, I mean, can be good.
No, I mean definitely. I mean against Necrowagon, just standard undead with destroyers dominates Necrowagon with gargoyles and worms and stuff. It's totally crushes them. So I think Wicked is gonna have a very difficult time now.
Do you think it's the right call by Wicked to go for these double expansions in the bottom left instead of going for the early push, knowing that he's like behind in gold? So I think it's always tricky if you, like, I think if you, either you want to go for your first 2 expansions quickly, then you're well prepared. But if you don't get to your expansion 2 quickly, then I don't think you should take your 3rd one before the first push, because I think it's just too late. You can't utilize that expo before that first push.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're right. In the grand scheme of things, that extra expo, you know, may or may not help him or hurt him. I mean, obviously it'll help him if it stands up. But to your point, he teched to tier 3 really quickly. Once he got to tier 3, he didn't have a single production building. That's when he made both Temple of Dams, Slaughterhouses, extra crypt. So he really didn't gain anything from teching tier 3. I think if he was gonna tech super fast like he did, he should tech for like fast worms or a very fast Necrowagon and try to macro that better. Otherwise, you lose out on that fast tech advantage, and now you see SyDe, who was slower macro-wise as far as his tech, but he's better prepared now. I personally think that quest build is overrated. There's some maps that I'll still play that build, but I prefer a more macro-oriented build. That's my opinion. That's kind of an old school train of thought. I think a lot of players play that quest build now, but SyDe played more of an old school kind of macro oriented build, and like I said, I think he's in a much better spot here.
Yeah,
like, I mean, this army right here, like SyDe has destroyers, right? I mean, he has statues, so he can make destroyers. He has 2 slaughterhouses, so like SyDe should obliterate this undead army that's about to hit him right now.
Yeah, and obviously,
he has 4 statues. Yeah, he's gonna have multiple destroyers. Like he's gonna crush purple right here.
And level 5 Dreadlord is obviously amazing against like all this ground stuff here. He will get, I guess the first fight may take him almost to level 6 maybe. Like if it's going to be that one-sided as we expected. Nice farm here by Godfather, actually. I like that. Ooh, and Godfather not going for the aggression here. Interesting. And the first fight coming out, one worm ready at this point, but he should be able to defend this, I guess. Yeah, very offensive TP.
Nice TP there, yeah.
Yeah, the web is coming in, but there's just, I mean, so difficult to micro against this air here. Yeah, one worm is going to drop here. It's not looking as bad as I expected, but...
No, he's getting crushed.
Yeah, still, yeah, he is.
I mean, had a couple good webs.
No, I would say he's getting crushed. Like I think it's not that one-sided actually. The Fiends are really doing a good job. There are 3 Necros still, and the DK is about to die. There's no item on the DK, so I think it's looking good for Wicked actually. Until the 2 worms are getting out, like 2 worms are about to be ready for SyDe. I think that's going to turn the tides here. Yeah, Wicked is going to TP. And now with the level 5 Dreadlord, level 5.5 Dreadlord, he's in a much better spot now.
Yeah, and he's gonna have all the worms and all the destroyers now for the next push. So these this Necro Wagon, I would give up on at this point and go for pure Gargs.
Do you think it could? Do you think it would make sense for Wicked? Like he's still pushing ground, pushing for ground armies, ground units, but I think like he doesn't have the crypts to support that. But I think transitioning to mass Gargs would be his best bet now against destroyers and worms here. But like he could have afforded it at some point. Like I guess he invested like more than 2k now into this army here, but now it's too late.
I mean, you want to go Necro Wagon against human, and it can be effective against Orc early. It can be effective against human early. I think against Undead, it's the worst race to go Necro Wagon.
Yeah, against Elf also it can be like if this like usually not once the Elf has mass chimeras, but this first push before the Elf has 2 chimeras out can be very deadly. Because,
yeah, for sure. Yeah. It's a good early push against all races except for Undead, in my opinion.
Yeah. Human cross map here. Godfather trying to sneak these golems. Not going to be punished. But look at these hero levels. 5.5, 4.4, 3.3 for SyDe against almost level 5 Archmage here for the human. And LilTic and Godfather playing this very passively so far. I expected them to fight rather soonish. And look at the lumber of LilTic. Like he's not microing his shredder well. He should take it to the other side. This is such a long way here for the shredder to harvest.
Yeah, these destroyers are going to do work right here.
Yeah, and interestingly, LilTic goes for his normal hero combo here. So he goes for Archmage, MK and Paladin, but with a Paladin first. So I've never seen this, I think. But he got his Archmage up to level 4. But just like micro-wise, it might be a bit more tricky late game because you're not used to that combo in that order, I guess.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. I have to go for just a couple minutes. I'll be right back.
Yeah, sure. And all these units useless against the magic immune creeps here. Yeah, that's a tricky fight for Wicked. I mean, at least he has some towers in the back, but still. Yeah. Not going to defend this, I guess. Dark Ranger falls. And yeah, he's forced to TP out here. getting crushed. Yeah, it's a very nicely played by SyDe here. Getting his Dreadlord to level 6 too, so don't see SyDe hold as don't see Wicked holding this. He has 3 expansions on the other side of the map, so that's good to have, but especially in no chat mode, I think there is a risk that the other players are just letting you die. He's a sub in this match, so QQS was supposed to play, but he has a mech, and apparently Reforged is not running on mechs at this point, or not easy to get to run, and so we had to sub him. And Wicked proved to be a nice sub in the first match of the season, I think it was. And he's unsummoning the main base, so at least he will gain some gold back. And the other 2 players are just hoarding. Mass Towers at this point for Godfather now. He's pumping up to 80. Going for Mortar Knights. 11k gold for him. Immediately scouted by LilTic. Very nice. LilTic also up to 80. Only 6k gold. He got his second expo much later. And yeah, that's a level 5 for the Lich too. So SyDe in a amazing position. Not killing this shredder here. And Wicked signaling help here. I really like that. Yeah, and I think they've scouted it. So LilTic, and I don't think that's the worst move, is going to finish Wicked here. Like, there's no point in keeping it a 4-way. So getting one player out if everyone else is healthy still is surely the right strategy. Especially like it's a sub in this case, so might make even more sense. But there's no reason usually to help the weakest player in a 4-way, because it's just like there's just no reason to keep someone alive if you don't need him, and the only reason you need him is if one player is so strong that you can't really defeat him or can't really keep him in check without that fourth player. Push against SyDe here. Interesting. So not sure that's the right call. Maybe he messed up the colors. Don't think SyDe will have an issue dealing with this army, but maybe I'm wrong. So Infernal nicely thrown into the middle. Yeah, these worms just dealing way too much damage. And getting a level up on this MK. I think he could have tried to kill this MK. Yeah, but now Wicked on 4k gold, but just very few buildings, so... Nice items here, and there are market 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 squares that sell spell shields, which are obviously pretty overpowered, especially between human and undead. If human and undead players are in game, and they have a lot of nukey heroes, then spell shields are amazing, obviously. So at some point, and I'm surprised that Godfather is not has none of this, hasn't bought a spell shield yet. I think he could have gone for one to this point. That was a strange decision by LilTic to just go for this one fight here and then just back off. But he goes for his infamous triple invis hero and mass gyros, also something he likes to do. Yeah, and I don't see Wicked surviving this. He has 4k gold, but he has only 2 buildings left. 3 buildings left, so. Godfather going up to 84. So, Invis Mortar incoming. So that's a match full of fun strats here. He might go for the undead main, I assume. So that's usually what you want to target with this. And he keeps it. I like that he keeps a gyro here for scouting. So he's not getting surprised by the undead heroes here and by shades. There's no shade inside, and this, like, he's close by, but these are a lot of mortars. Wicked getting his level 5 here. So let's see, yeah, this undead main is this undead main is in heavy trouble. There's just one tower and uh-oh. Hello. Last time I've seen Invis Mortar in an FFA match was, I think, by SyDe some time ago. How quickly will he react? I mean, he can TP here, so I guess he should. Yeah, he needs to TP here now. Oh, needs to do that quickly. Uh-oh. A really nice push here by Godfather. Might get attacked in return, and yeah, he will instantly TP out, I assume. But that was a bit sloppy by his side to not instantly TP to the other Necropolis here. He had enough time. Wow. But this MK just vanished. Nice sleep here. Why isn't he TPing? Like, he just wants to kill more stuff, I guess, but... Wow. Okay, so he fed a lot of experience here. And this is some heavy teaming. Yeah, I mean, Godfather just used this push to deal some damage and drop back to 50, so wasn't too bad for him. On the other hand, I mean, he's not really getting experience at this point, and yeah, MK and Paladin on level 3 are pretty squishy, and against these high-level undead heroes, like SyDe is level 776, I guess? No, 765, but still much higher. And I don't know, it's always a difficult decision, especially no chat mode, but I think it would have made more sense for Godfather to let Wicked die before doing that. Now it's still a 4-way. Or potentially for LilTic to just finish Wicked. I mean, they have plenty of gold both. So 14k for LilTic, 17k gold for Godfather, and SyDe down to 6k, and he has to rebuild some stuff here. I'm not sure if SyDe knows how to signal peace in this, like, or if it would matter at this point, but he can signal peace by putting the items on the ground. Mass sleeps coming in here. I'm surprised that SyDe is giving up this main base, but I guess it makes sense. Like, this one's farther away, he's already attacking, and yeah, his heroes can carry at this point. And Godfather is just finishing his last expo here before. I'm not sure what his plan is, if he's going to attack after or if he's just going to wait and scout. Yeah, LilTic and his Invis heroes, extremely annoying. Like, there's not much you can do against it. He has gyros, so you can't even use your shades well. Wicked take in this expo too. So Wicked is alive. I think SyDe is handling this really well. It was the right call to give up this main base. Like, you can't defend anyways if everyone's going to attack you, so you can just hope that they kill this main base and stop attacking you after. So I assume LilTic might might continue for some more time here. Godfather is 100 supply now, so he's going in here. And yeah, SyDe will be relying on one of these players to piece him at this point. Ooh, the Infernal. Yeah, this could be it for... Okay. Wow, saving all heroes. Very nice. LilTic probably going to... he might be discovered by this... he might be scouted by this shade here. Yeah, sees it. And now he should see... Yeah, he should see Godfather storming in. So yeah, I think that's really important here, that LilTic is scouting this. It's 100 supply here, so this will help him to make a decision after whether he continues to attack SyDe or whether he's going on Godfather. And I'm very surprised that no one's finishing Wicked here. Would make a lot of sense, I guess. Ooh. Yeah, Nova and Swarm dealing so much damage here. And these human heroes are not really getting a lot of levels. Wow, killing the DK, nice. And backstab here by LilTic. So this is some heavy teaming here, and I'm not sure SyDe should stay out here. I think he should... whatever. Since Paladin died, now he's going for these other heroes, and I mean, it's surely the right call. Yeah, Nova, bam. Yeah, LilTic. Interesting. LilTic might change aggro here. Seeing what's going on, so he's scouting now, and I mean, he knows that SyDe is not having a lot of gold left. Like, at least he knows that SyDe is having a lot less gold than himself and potentially Godfather. But hello?
Hey, I'm back. Sorry about that. Well, it seems like I missed a lot here.
Yeah, no worries. Still fully ongoing this match, and heavy teaming on SyDe, like the usual disadvantage of being too strong early.
So what happened then? SyDe like pretty much beat purple, and then people started teaming him?
Yeah, and surprisingly no one was seemed interested to finish Wicked, which I think would have been the right call for both humans, to just let Wicked die. Now they have like a fourth player roaming around. So I think that they helped too early. But since then, like since they helped Wicked, they heavily teaming SyDe, killed his main base. And like Wicked was, SyDe was defending very well, but like you can only do so much against 100 supply human armies.
Both humans were teaming him, Teal was too?
Yeah,
oh, wow.
yeah, everyone.
All Teal's heroes are dead.
Yeah, yeah, SyDe killed them. So he defended very well, but lost the DK and lost all his units. So he's, I assume, like LilTic will probably like either he will try to finish SyDe entirely, or he will probably stop at some point. I don't know. Like it's tricky because I don't really know how much gold they think that the other human has. So I mean, they should know that SyDe has not a lot of gold left, so.
Yeah, his heroes are just so much higher than the other players, though.
Yeah, and it's going like it's a real issue, especially for Teal here. Godfather was not doing much early on. Like he wasn't creeping that well. Obviously in a more difficult position than LilTic, but like level 4 Mountain King and level 3 Paladin are obviously very weak against these 8-6-6 undead heroes. 8-7-6. So yeah, that's always a challenge. Like you can hoard as much gold as you like early on, but you're definitely forced to team someone after because you can't take a straight up fight. I mean, SyDe is handling it very well, so he doesn't seem to... Like, I think he made the right decisions here. There's only so much you can do as undead here. And interestingly, again, I mean, Godfather invested in this army, and it was quite expensive. So this 100 supply cost him at least 4k gold, I guess. While LilTic still has his gyros and hasn't spent a lot of gold yet. So he's on 15k and slightly better levels. So
yeah. So what was Godfather's army that he built?
Tanks Griffins mainly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and to your point, LilTic has 3,000 more gold and a whole army, and better hero levels.
Yeah, LilTic always knows how to play it efficiently. So he's like, despite playing gyros, which die quite quickly, but he's mostly using them for harassment, and he's reacting quite quickly usually. So needs to be careful here with his heroes. One of these heroes might die. He has a TP on the Paladin. Yeah, okay. It's not even chasing. And Wicked is fully alive again, almost. Like, at least he has gold. He's mining happily. Yeah, and SyDe can't do shit at this point.
Wonder if SyDe will ever sell his Cloak of Flames and Orb of Darkness. Basically useless.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, his item management, like also on this map, I think since the markets are so, like they're not really in a primary position, location, I feel players are less likely to visit these markets here on this map than they are on some of the other maps.
Yeah.
Because there are spell shields everywhere and they have like 15k gold, and I saw like 2 spell shields up to this point.
One there too.
Yeah, so
yeah, spell shields are huge, and then also, especially for the undead player, if he went here and picked up the Staff of Silence, Staff of Silence is so strong against human.
Yeah. Yeah, and he has the gold.
Divine Shield, yeah.
Yeah, there's like spell shields are basically worth, like, how much do they cost? 700? I forgot.
600, I think, but
okay.
Yeah, they're the best item in the game.
Yeah, I think they are worth 2k easily. Like if you have high level heroes, and in this situation, like it's easily worth 2k if you have the gold to spare.
So LilTic is in high upkeep, yet he's still mining this. I'm not sure, is he gonna plan on an attack soon, or?
Yeah, good question. I'm surprised to see that. On the other hand, like, he won't get the chance to mine this on 50 anyway, so why not just mine it now? And I mean, he has the gold. And he is going for the attack here, interestingly. Okay, LilTic is trying to get some experience off Wicked, which I think he could have done much earlier. And interestingly, he has a hard time fighting with these undead heroes.
This Dark Ranger just makes the undead hero nuke so weak.
Yeah, but on the other hand, it's awkward. it's awkward for the human to fight because you're not used to Dark Ranger. Yeah, you're not used to getting silenced.
You should just focus the Death Knight. I'm not sure why he's attacking the DR, but...
Yeah, I'm not sure why Wicked is trying to stay in this. Like, there's no way he can kill any of these heroes. But he might lose his TP for that. Oh. Bash? Ah. Okay, that Dark Ranger is toast. That's level 6 for the Paladin. And Wicked, I just realized that Wicked has a new main base at the top left. Yeah, so I think it's a good call by Tick to finally go on Wicked here. I think he could have done that earlier to get some experience, but it's fine. I mean, Wicked's main base is in a very unfortunate location here for fighting LilTic.
Right. So SyDe has a Pendant of Mana, which is awesome on a Dreadlord. His heroes are really stacked pretty nicely.
You think so? I think his items are, except that Django, that Cutcast Pipe, and that Pendant. His heroes are, yeah, I mean, Rune Bracers are also pretty good, but he has a lot of items. I would sell, like Glass of
sure.
Haze.
I mean, me too. I'm just saying that they're still pretty solid, but he can sell the Orb of Darkness, the Cloak of Flames.
Yeah, the Circlet.
He could sell the Glass of Haze as well.
Yeah, and the Circlet, and even the Claws. I'm not sure. Class plus 12. I'm not sure I would keep it. Like against double human nuke, I think like a spell shield will be. I would swap it with a spell shield, for sure. Ooh, and Godfather trying, or will go for the attack on LilTic, which is a bit of an unfortunate timing here for LilTic. Like, LilTic is on 87 supply, but he's not prepared. Yeah, he's not prepared to fight this. Is he signaling to attack together? Yeah, LilTic is signaling peace. LilTic is signaling peace. But yeah. Now, I guess they will attack SyDe together. I don't know. Would be a bit awkward.
LilTic seems to win these games when.
He's always winning these games. Yeah. He's always.
No one pays him any attention.
And
which
yeah,
it's part of the reason why I like ladder more so than this kind of format, because oftentimes like the weakest player, the weakest perceived player, will win these games. But you know, there's ways around it, and people still don't attack LilTic when he's better than what he's perceived as. You know.
Yeah, many people fall for that. I mean, you would always guess he's on a lower gold count than he actually is. Like if you count his mines now, like he had not many mines. He mined this, and his main. So he had fewer mines than all the others, but yet he has way more gold. But that's like you can always add like 5k gold to whatever he thinks he has, and then you're probably about right.
But look how smart he is also. He's letting Godfather go in, take the brunt of all the damage, right?
Yeah.
Let his army go in first.
Yeah, I mean he can really dive with his gyros, but these tanks are dying really quickly. Okay, now he's going in. Yeah, that's some heavy teaming here. And I don't see SyDe holding this. Like, if they really commit to this main base, I think he will be out. And there's not much he has outside of this main base, so he might die entirely. Like, he has one Necropolis, but that's basically it.
Yeah, I always feel a bit bad when these solo pros come in and they get teamed out hard. because then they might not want to play anymore, you know?
Yeah, me too. For sure. Yeah, and that's not much. He played it pretty. Like I mean, he could have tried to piece one of them. You could argue, okay, he defended it maybe too well, or killed too many heroes, but it's just easy to say. I mean, obviously you don't want to. Like, it's tricky. You don't just want to lose stuff intentionally to appear weaker. LilTic has way fewer towers, but I'm not sure that will be game deciding. I wonder if Wicked has a chance to win this. Like, obviously he has a chance, but it seems humans are going at each other, are going to attack each other for some time now.
Yeah, Pink's in just such a better position than Teal. Better heroes, better gold. I think a better of understanding of how to play a three-way like this.
Yeah, and both have mass TP, so I think LilTic should be able to utilize this mass TP a bit better. Like, he's not a random player, so that usually makes it a bit easier. And Godfather's main races are usually Undead and Orc, so not sure if he's as experienced in this, but on the other hand, it's no rocket science, I guess. And Wicked is on tick, interestingly, so Wicked has some bills to pay. Okay, no, he's signaling peace, so Wicked and LilTic are piecing, I guess. Nice talk.
So what would happen in the event that someone chats in a no-chat game?
Depends. Like, obviously I would ask them to pause, and like, the usual penalty is always like 5 points penalty. If someone accidentally writes something, I'd say like 5-point penalty would be kind of fair. If someone writes something to intentionally ruin the game, it would rather go into like a 10-point penalty direction, I guess.
I see.
Like, that's just my gut feeling.
Yeah, it'd just be like a case-by-case kind of thing.
Yeah, I think like that's why I personally always in no chat mode have to put like the chat type into observer mode, because else I may forget and may just type accidentally. And I'm really surprised that that's not have to happen. That doesn't happen more often. Ooh, Archmage slightly exposed here, but oh, the Paladin out of mana.
It's only level 3 for Godfather.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, LilTic could honestly just go 100 food and go hard.
Yeah, I think he should. He is. Like, he's pushing to 95. Yeah. He keeps all his Griffins in his main base. I'm not sure why, but I think that's a bad call. Might be able to kill the Paladin here.
Yeah, he definitely can bring the Griffins. But he's doing a lot of damage just with Blizzard anyways, as long as he can staff some of these tanks.
Nice staff here on that tank.
Yeah, Godfather that I remember just plays Orc and Mass Bats. That's the only Godfather that I've played.
Yeah, he like with Undead he likes Necro Wagon, and with Orc he likes Mass Towers and Bats for sure.
I'm surprised that LilTic and that Godfather elected to play no chat.
I guess LilTic wanted to play like LilTic is always, like, many people say, okay, he's just winning because of his mana and that kind of stuff. Maybe he just wants to prove. And he was very successful in some of these resurrection cups without a lot of chat going on.
Gotcha.
So maybe he just wanted to prove something, and Godfather liked no chat, I think. And I guess there's a lower risk for him to get penalty points in no chat. And LilTic took his army now. Nice here. He's using the cloud here to kill the towers. Nicely. Yeah, this is a strong push, and I'm not sure Wicked is seeing this. Like, Wicked has no shades nearby. There are 2 tanks in LilTic's main base, but nice reaction with a mortar. Really good. Like, one isn't attacking, but at least the other is. I think he should have killed the altar. Yeah, Godfather will be able to hold this.
Yeah, a bit of a dive by Pink here.
Yeah.
He has mass TP, so like he could just mass TP back to his base real quick, and then come right back.
What's the MK doing? Oh, okay. Yeah, he should. Like, everything's dying. Yeah, and Paladin needs to be careful here. Ooh.
Nice Stormbolt.
Ooh.
Oh.
That was close. And the MK, the Paladin could die here. Not reacting quickly enough. Okay, yeah, Bolt was on cooldown. And Wicked is attacking the Shredder of Godfather, who has 10k lumber, so I guess he's fine.
So Wicked is getting these expansions back.
Wicked is able to get a lot of gold, but not. I mean, not yet.
This would be quite the win if he could pull this off.
Yeah, I think he.
Dark Ranger though against human with Mountain King Paladin, it's tough.
I think Wicked invested way too much into this main base. Like, why would you want to have 7 Ziggs in between 2 human bases? Like he would.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, it would have been way more effective, I guess, to just go for some mass acolytes and just hide them everywhere. Go for some necropolises and just get items with the rest of your gold. I mean, he has a lot of items, but still no spell shield. And I don't think spell shield, like without spell shield, he won't be able to deal with these human heroes here.
Right. It just sucks because without Lich, you really don't have the hero nuking capability to play in Hero Arena.
And also with Charm, it's not as efficient as it is against Undead or Elf. Like for human, like you usually late game you can charm some spellbreakers, but that's usually it. Like Griffins are not as good as Chimeras, and usually late game there aren't even Griffins anymore.
Right. I like charming priests, but again, if you don't have an army, then Inner Fire Priest doesn't help too much.
Don't like that LilTic is reacting to these undead heroes here. I think you should just ignore them and focus on Godfather. If you would be able to break for Godfather's main base. Wow, that was a quick kill. Wicked not... Wow, that was close. Uh-oh.
No.
Oh, I hate Reforged.
Oh.
Oof. That was the longest.
Hey, so tell me about what you're doing with Pat, or what he's doing a little bit.
Yeah, honestly, I mean, at this point, we also still need to... I mean, unless Blizzard is really dropping Reforged entirely, we will see a ladder at some point. So I assume the next patch, hopefully, is going to bring a ladder to some degree.
Hopefully that helps.
So I don't think it makes sense to build something hugely complex or something very sophisticated now if it's not really better as the ladder that's about to come, hopefully.
Right.
And I mean, the way this works is basically like it's basically like the matchmaking on V3 Arena. So it's custom game based, and then it will just track the results online. So it uses the custom game feature, so it's pretty straightforward, but yeah, we'll see. I mean, it still doesn't solve the issue with the stability, which I think, like with the stability and with the number of servers, which in my eyes are the top priorities. Right. And we do see a fight here between Godfather and LilTic.
Yeah, LilTic is in such a better position right here. He also killed both those undead heroes, which boosted his heroes levels again.
Yeah, needs to keep...
Godfather's just feeding him at this point.
Yeah, needs to be careful with his gyros here. He's not microing them at this point.
Archmage down.
But yeah, killing the Archmage. It needs to be careful, like a lot of stuff is going to die to these tanks here. Should pull these Griffins back.
Yeah, pretty easy win it looks like here for LilTic.
Yeah, it's crazy. He just lost 3k gold since he started fighting Godfather. And Godfather lost 8k, I think.
I think there's something to be said that you don't need to mass so many towers, especially in a FML game, because there's no point really. Like if you're gonna get teamed, you're gonna lose your towers, right?
Yeah.
So like Godfather had all these towers up here and all these towers here, and they're useless. Maybe in a ladder game, more towers is more, but like LilTic, you know, had just a few towers in his base, didn't overdo it on his base, doesn't get teamed, and then has a lot more gold in the end.
Yeah, I think it only makes sense if you're really far ahead and if you have a lot of gold to spare, like Noix often has. If he's really dominating, just mass TPing around with like 20k gold, then you obviously can't spend like 2k into towers, who cares? But in this situation where he's not dominating, it doesn't really make sense. I agree. I think he just started fighting way too late. Like he must have realized that his levels were worse than LilTic's levels due to spawn maybe, but
see, like if I was Godfather surrounded, I would have rushed out LilTic for sure. Especially if he thinks he has better micro than LilTic. Like go at 80 food Griffin push, you know?
Yeah, maybe. But I'm not sure he has...
Playing that long passive game when you're surrounded, like, I don't know.
Yeah, and I'm not sure he has better micro, to be honest. I mean, he's no main race human, and LilTic's micro is underrated, I think. Like, his hero micro is pretty good. So...
Yeah, no, that's a good point. And I guess I wasn't saying that he does have better micro, but if he feels that he could beat him by doing a push, I would have went with that.
Yeah, I agree. It's nice. I think we dropped like 80 viewers since Side left.
Oh, there's a lot of viewers.
I think we're at 105 at one point, and now we're back to 25. Yeah, Wicked is just hiding, but I think it might be a bit pointless here.
Making fiends now. Oh, he's making Necro Wagon with 2k.
No. Interesting call. And LilTic is, yeah, I think this is the right move, seeing that Wicked is pumping, and you don't know for sure how much gold Wicked has, so I think it's a good call to finish Wicked first here.
LilTic is smart. He knows how to play. Like you said, he has underrated micro. I mean, just look at his gold. He has 11k, where Godfather's almost dead now. And Godfather had 10, 12k. So LilTic, you know, probably an easier win, but just really smart and a strong win. Well played.
Yeah, I agree.
Hey, so can you confirm? I believe my game is in an hour and a half. Is that right? I just want to make sure I have the time zones correct.
Let me check. I hate these summertime, this daylight savings shit. And I only realized during my FML times that not every country is transitioning at the same time. Like, I mean, I know some countries have no DST anymore. Like, it's such a mess. Like, Latin America, like many countries don't have it. Russia doesn't have DST. Europe has DST, but only transitions end of March. And North America transitions early March. It's such a mess.
Yeah, and my individual state in North America does not have DST. And we're like the only state that doesn't do
really?
it, so
okay, I didn't know that. Interesting.
Arizona, yeah. But if things are scheduled like Eastern Standard, so I'm pretty sure that it's an hour and a half. But
that explains a lot. I mean, I was driving through Arizona, I think 2 times, and I was always surprised, like it was always in summertime, and I was always surprised that Arizona, despite being in like that, and like not being farther east or west, has another time zone, but that explains it. So while I try to follow the game with my camera, I am trying to find out. This game is finished. So we are going to have 2 more games tonight. One starts at 23 CT, which is one starts in 1 hour 50. Let me check. That is not yours, I believe. No,
it should be 1 hour 20, I think.
Yeah, one rookie bracket match starts in 1 hour 50, and your match, the other one, is going to start in 1 hour 20. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So that's the next match.
Yeah, that's the next match.
There's 2 more.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but they are going to overlap, so, and honestly, I'm not, like, I don't know, I need to see if I guess I will try to cast yours, but I'm getting a bit tired. I mean, I played this grubby match last night, went until, I think, 3:30 or something, and I wanted to watch, like, the VOD after, so, like, could have waited until today, but whatever.
Yeah. So what's it like with the COVID-19 in Germany? Are people all locked down and freaking out?
Yeah, I mean, no, not freaking out, and I think it was a bit closer here. At least it felt a bit closer here in the last two weeks already, I think, due to Italy and that situation there. So. Right. But still, I think like Germany was probably, or still is, less prepared than some of the other countries in Europe. And I mean, we were all, and I guess that applies for the US also, we were all less prepared than like South Korea, some of these countries. So I think starting tomorrow, they really shut everything down here. And we have, like, it's very, very federal state dependent here in Germany. So every of these 16 federal states can decide whether they want to close schools and that kind of stuff. So
I see.
It's very tricky, but I mean, we'll see. Like, yeah, I'm working home based, and I'm glad that I started this FML season. So I don't know.
Something else to do.
Yeah, I don't worry too much, but my mother is a bit sick in general, so that's a bit of my worries. But eventually, there's not much you can do at this point except like not meeting people, which I just don't at this point. But I don't know. It's strange.
Yeah, I think we're really ill prepared here in the United States in general, because our president is an idiot. And he's trying to downplay the severity of it. And I think over the next few weeks, like, there's a pretty good chance that it's going to hit us harder than it hit Italy. Like, it's going to be just, like, horrible over here, I'm thinking.
Yeah, I read this on medium.com. I'm not sure if you know that. I think it's medium.com. There was it still is very great, like, scientific paper. And they are constantly updating that, so it's super interesting to the analytical background of all of that, and I found it really interesting. And I mean, there already, I think last week they estimated that there might be in the US over 100,000 infected people, and obviously if you don't test people, you just don't know.
Right.
You never know.
We're not testing anybody. Like, with how many people we're testing per million, we're like 100 times less than South Korea. We're like 60 times less than Italy. Like, every other developed country is testing more than us. Like, the only other country that's maybe not or doing as bad as us is like the UK, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Like,
and
so it's gonna be crazy, man. I just bought a house, so I'm having like some of my flooring remodeled and stuff, and I'm like worried about my contractors, and we have to move in the next couple of weeks, and
oh
I've
shit,
already
yeah.
purchased like all these dry goods and stuff, and my mom is older also with health problems, so I'm worried about her. And
Yeah, it's really scary, like especially like still if you consider that the mortality rate is so high amongst like the ones above 60, 70. And if you consider that there are like, I don't know, that there are like 70 million in the US, I guess. I don't know how many there are, but I guess you have maybe even above. I mean, you have 250 million inhabitants. Or what's the population of the US? I guess like roughly 250, right?
Yeah, I think so. Maybe a little bit higher.
So I mean, I guess a third of that is above age 60 or something. So if you if the mortality rate is like 15%, and if some studies say that they expect like at least 60% of the entire population to be infected, then that would mean like that you have like hundreds of thousands in hospitals and
half a million deaths, something like that.
yeah, so that's crazy. Like that's really horrible. I mean, and I mean you will have the more people you have ending up in hospitals at the same time, the more you have like the more severe cases of other like sicknesses, of other illnesses you will have,
Yeah,
because
I mean,
you can't treat them.
The hospitals can't hold those many people.
Yeah.
And it's not just that, also like just the economic and like
Yeah.
the other ramifications are crazy. Like for example, there's so many people that have young children that go to work because because their young children go to school, right? And that's their daycare. But now if all the schools are closed, now the kids can't go to school, the parents can't afford to pay for daycare and go to work. So that's like going to be a huge problem. It's very, very common for like mothers to work with children.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just tricky. Like at first I had the impression that maybe the shutting everything down might like the yeah, whatever. We do have some interesting fights here. Wicked has Necrowagon, and he's dealing.
Let's see if Teal can come back in time to help Wicked here.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, Wicked is dealing more damage than I expected, honestly.
Yeah, he's doing pretty decent with this. But Teal needs to come back soon. Again, they can't chat, so Teal doesn't see it.
Yeah,
his tanks are right outside the range.
Yeah, but I don't get why isn't he scouting? Like you must know at this point that like LilTic is not at this point. LilTic is playing it aggressively, and Godfather should know that. So
there we go. Here's the tanks. All right, nice fight here. Godfather, come through.
Yeah, now he's
see
coming.
If he can keep his heroes alive.
Ooh, LilTic, almost losing the MK. King. Yeah, the silence now coming in handy here. And
here we go. So LilTic is going to be challenged here. I was surprised to not see any blizzards. Not a single blizzard there. He's scrambling right now, though. So LilTic should be pumping mortars, right?
Honestly, I don't know. Like, do you really need mortars? There's not that much stuff that. I think Griffins are, and he's going for Griffins. I think Griffins is the better call. Like mortar.
Yeah, I guess there's less fiends than I thought when I saw that whole group. I thought it was
and
fiends in that.
Griffins are like, with mortar you can't move out of your main base. They will just die instantly. But with Griffins you can like do something. So I think Griffins are a good call here.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Wow, Godfather is down to 40 gold. And it's 40 and 50 gold against 6k, so that would be a huge throw here if he loses this. I mean, LilTic has nothing outside of his main base, interestingly. Usually he saves a lot of workers. He has only one Zeppelin in the bottom left. But he needs to be careful here.
Yeah, he jumped out to try to get that fiend. It's lucky he didn't lose that hero. So he's food blocked now.
Well, look at the MK. The MK will get to level 6 here. That's a huge deal. He wants the level 6. He really wants it. And with the silence, he needs to be very... Yeah. Oh yeah. And he needs to be really careful here with the silence. So you're not expecting that silence. The situation. Oh, going for the Archmage. But he
no mana on the Paladin for Divine Shield.
Yeah, needs to staff it. Yeah, so he's defending it well on the left, and now Wicked has a TP. Should TP out instantly. Yeah.
He needs to use his. There you go.
Oof. It was a nice push.
Yeah, it was pretty effective. LilTic still has a few peasants here to rebuild farms if he chooses.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Undead did pretty well there. Better than I thought when he started building Necro Wagon when he only had a couple thousand gold.
And he has an Inferno now, so he's finding the farms. That's a big deal, actually.
See a mass TP?
Yeah. Oh, he used the Infernal too early. A bit too early.
No TP on the DK.
Oh yes. But he has a silence, so... Oh yeah, nice sleep on the MK. Wow, and Wicked is... Oh, for level 6? That's really nice.
Nice.
That's very important. I mean, they can't really communicate, so...
So purple, yeah, he doesn't... I mean, he has some scattered buildings, obviously, but they need to go back to pink space.
Yeah, they do now. They do now.
It's interesting how to coordinate when there's no chat. Like, you have to, you know, trust that they kind of know what you're doing. I get some of the tricks like laying an item down and things like that, but it is interesting to see how the dynamics play out on these games where the players are used to being able to chat, you know?
Yeah. And Wicked has a shade here, so he sees that. Oh, needs to be careful. Yeah, Wicked is seeing this, so he should come in with his heroes, but it's just tricky. Like these undead heroes die so quickly. Need to be very careful. Tank's getting caught here. Nice mess TP to save the tanks. A very stressful situation here for all players. And there's a lot of stuff in LilTic's main base that to defend here, but needs to be careful. Like, he will just lose units over and over if he's not careful enough.
Yeah, he's got enough Griffins though to fight both players for sure.
Yeah, now he has.
He should be spamming Holy Light on his Paladin. 730 mana.
Yeah. Wow, that distance bolt. May lose one hero here if he's not careful. Yeah, the Paladin might.
Paladin, get him.
Yeah, and now he goes for it. Okay, using the staff, but yeah, LilTic knows where it ends up.
So Godfather getting a decent amount of gold. He went from 0 to 1600 on expansion.
Oh, yeah. May lose the Paladin now. The Paladin is nicely stuck in between the tower and the tank. Not that easy to reach here. Yeah, it just goes for the towers.
So I think LilTic should be building more farms.
For sure, yeah. I'm really surprised that he seems a bit sloppy on that end, on that regard. So now he does. But he has a peasant. Maybe he doesn't. Huh? What happened? Did someone chat?
PP.
Yeah. I always like it's FML. So I always, when someone writes PP, I read penalty points.
Right.
Finally, LilTic is not supply blocked anymore. Took a long time.
Yeah, I don't see a whole lot of sense in saving his gold. I mean, and I guess he doesn't know how much gold Godfather has.
Yeah, but he should know. I mean, Godfather is Godfather pumped some gyros, so he's not that far behind in gold. Like it's 3K, but like LilTic should win this.
Oh, staff the Archmage. No Paladin to save him.
Uh-oh.
LilTic needs to go back.
Wow. Would this be the second throw today?
Oh, he could have used invisibility because the bash stunned him. Missed it. He tried to, it looked like.
This was a scary situation. I mean, you don't really have a lot of mana to work with.
No altar.
Archmage.
He has no altar.
Wow. I mean, he can Tavern easily, but...
Right.
I'm not sure if Wicked realizes that there's no Archmage around. I mean, he doesn't know that it was killed.
Yeah, he should send a breaker to the altar.
Oh, but Dark Ranger taking a lot of damage here. Needs to, yeah, pop the invul. And Avatar about to run out. Both avatars. Ooh, not a good position for Godfather here. Wow, that swarm. Yeah, but I don't see them winning this.
Oh!
Wow. That was a split second before. Oh no, it was...
What happened to God? I missed it. Godfather's Archmage was in jeopardy. They had to TP.
Yeah, he was stuck in the middle, so he had to TP.
Okay.
Like he was in too deep here, so. But I'm not sure. Like I don't think it would have changed anything. So LilTic has so much. Like he can defend this without Archmage. It's just so difficult to kill stuff if you can work with just like if you're really lacking that lich. Like Dark Ranger is not doing much. That Like if he gets his Dark Ranger to level 6, that will make a difference here. But without level 6, and now the altar is back up, so he can get his Archmage.
Yeah, especially like the human already has a silent staff, so Dark Ranger is almost doing nothing.
Yeah.
Plus she's just susceptible to Holy Light, of course.
Wicked is up to 1.5k. So LilTic down to...
This is a good game. It seems like both these games we've casted so far have been pretty good.
Yeah, definitely. After yesterday, like after the second game yesterday, that was a bit of a bummer. But like no chat can be really fun, so... and we have... Now I don't want to jinx it. So I don't say anything about disconnects, but so far it's going well.
We've been good so far, yeah.
Yeah.
Man, I really hope that Blizzard comes out with the ladder soon. Like, it's so disappointing. You know me, I'm always such an optimist when it comes to Blizzard. Even like despite everything, I'm always finally like I'm starting to feel like I just hope they're not giving up on this game.
They did. Like they never. I mean, it became apparent in the last 4 to 5 weeks with the patch and their communication. There's just not much they will do. It's
like they just made all this money off people buying Reforged, and then they just don't even give a shit about it.
I mean, honestly, like from an economical standpoint, I'm not even sure if it's like obviously it's not good if you take into account their their reputation. Maybe they underestimated the impact of a bad Reforged, but eventually a lot of people bought Reforged just for the campaign, and it seems that was their purpose. So.
Just this game is so good. It's like it's the best game of all time. So it's like
yeah, and they fucked up. Yeah,
yeah.
Shit. They fucked up the Frozen Throne. I think that's on one hand I like that they enable old graphics in Reforged, but like it would have been even worse if they would have released Reforged with just new graphics and deactivated TFT. At least we have at least we have old graphics, but still, I mean, at some point,
all we seriously need is just a ladder stats, and then obviously they try to fix the desyncs and things like that, and the ping and all that. But like to me, like I can deal with ping issues and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Like hopefully that gets better. But if we don't even have a ladder, like there's almost no point in playing.
Yeah, I mean there are plenty of small issues, but I also agree that they are not as important to be fixed. If we have a ladder, and I think it should not be too difficult to get further servers in, I think that would be a nice start. And I think when it comes to desyncs and disconnects, I think there's a general issue with the structure of Reforged. I don't think it will ever be without disconnects. I think it's almost impossible. We had desyncs on 1.3 already, and I think it became even more difficult with like new graphics and old graphics on top of each other.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's better that we're just playing in old graphics now. Streamers are streaming old graphics. Not exactly what Blizzard planned, but
yeah, I think a reconnect feature would solve everything on that regard. Like a reconnect feature would be so amazing, and we had G-Proxy, so it's definitely doable, but that would serve, yeah. That would serve a lot.
I feel like there's like a small team of Warcraft guys at Blizzard that are like pretty passionate, and it's just like they go to their corporate Blizzard and like, hey, we want this, and they don't even listen to them probably. Like
yeah, and I'm not even sure. Yeah, and I'm not even sure they have they have some dedicated guys. I'm very very certain, but I'm not sure it's the guys that actually code some of that stuff or design. I mean, I guess from a as they outsource the design to Lime, how is it called? Lime Sky, or however that designer studio is called.
Right.
I think the people that are still very dedicated to Warcraft 3 and in the team are more dealing with like some of the balance stuff and some of the map pools, that kind of stuff. But I think when it comes to coding and to design, it's not actually really dedicated Warcraft 3 enthusiasts dealing with it. So.
Right. I mean, but like, I don't know. how difficult it is for them to come out with a ladder. So like StarCraft 2 has a good ladder, right? And that's not a pay-to-play game. Like you don't have to pay monthly for that game. They still update and patch StarCraft 2, right?
I don't know, yeah. It's frustrating, but whatever.
Yeah,
In the meantime, yeah, LilTic down to 2k gold, but he has 80 supply, while Wicked is on 1k gold and just 25 supply, so it's still looking pretty good here for LilTic. Needs to be careful to not lose all his gyros to this tank here.
Yeah, so they took LilTic down pretty well. Obviously LilTic had a couple mistakes there. It's like not building farms and losing his Archmage.
Wow. He messed TP'd onto the wrong tank.
Oh, dang.
That was so close. Would have worked to the other tank. And LilTic is getting an island too.
So is that the one building rule there? That's sufficient?
Yeah, it's okay. Like he can do that. And I told them it's two islands, so this counts as 2.
Yeah, LilTic just knows how to win these kind of games too, you know, and that's an invaluable skill. Nice.
Yeah, that was so close. Oh, he has his ultimate still, so he is fine.
Oh.
Oh, the Infernal in the main base. That might be... He needs to staff the Paladin, I guess. He's not taking... He needs to staff the Paladin.
The damage enough, I guess it is. The cannon tower is hurting the Archmage. You see that?
Oh yes, and he could staff the Paladin, but now the Paladin's... He's not taking care of the Paladin. Paladin's surrounded. He should have...
Nice kill.
He needed to staff the Paladin.
Oh, he lost the Paladin and the Archmage.
Wow. He might kill the DK though, but that could be it for... Ooh. Is this backstab time? No, it's not. That's a lot of Griffins here. Against one gyro.
Need to go kill that altar.
Yeah, and the MK might die too. Staff of Silence here. But that will wear off quickly. Ooh.
Nice bash.
And he has mana for like 3 more, maybe 4 more bolts. Slow coming in now. Wow, Invis 2. Ooh, that's
the altar.
Yeah, they need to get the altar. It's all open if they get it. I mean, yeah. Oh, the ultimate is ready again. Not a good blizzard here. And the MK is like totally out of mana, and due to the spellbreakers also.
Yeah, Stormbolt coming.
Invis? Ah, no, it doesn't matter.
Got it.
Wow.
Let's see if he can find the altar.
He doesn't, he sees it, I think. Yeah, he sees it now, yeah. Ooh, Archmage might not come back.
And just a plain Archmage could die here.
Yeah, that's true, but the Griffins are dealing a lot of damage here, but Paladin full mana still. Wow, this is a great game. Ooh, going for the surround here. Difficult to surround against the wall.
Does he have it?
Yeah, but he's TPing right into the next bolt. He has a new bolt now.
Mass TP again, instantly. Oh, nice. Nice Zeppelin there.
Yeah. Do you think he should focus on the altar now? I think it's...
I mean, yeah, for sure.
This is not... Yeah, he's killing a lot of stuff here, but...
Yeah, that Orb of Fire is doing work.
He needs to be careful, like, he can't run out of mana. He's not really doing a lot here.
Right, he should definitely kill that altar.
And Wicked did not catch any of that, so he doesn't know shit, I guess. He will just see him as Griffins.
Let's see if we can get that paladin. Nope.
Nope.
Interesting.
$300 gold for Godfather and 200 for Wicked, so they really need to take care of that island. Like, LilTic has a lot of anti-air.
LilTic just picked up his last peasant right there.
Ooh, but he sees it.
Man, I'll tell you what, LilTic kind of threw it so far.
Yeah, for sure. Way too sloppy.
Yeah. He could have finished the game.
I think that when he was supply blocked, that was the point where he needed he needed to get as many farms as quickly as possible just to go up to 100. That was his point to finish one of them.
Right. And just the fact that he didn't have an altar when he lost his hero.
Yeah, but that's something that can happen pretty easily because you just don't need it usually.
He's gonna kill these farms before he has a chance to get another altar to revive his heroes.
Oh, he's mess TPing out. Ah, okay.
Oh, he got his paladin back, but he's not gonna be able to get his Mountain King. Supply blocked. I mean, he can kill some units, obviously.
Yeah, and Godfather is like he's revealing his position slightly by just by attacking that expo from that side. It was a mistake, I guess. Like he revealed his altar. Paladin.
Oh, right.
Paladin might come out though. Ooh.
Silence. Oh, he doesn't have silence.
Oh, blocking himself here. Big deal.
Yeah, it's alright. For the altar.
Yeah, but LilTic is still supply block now. I don't think he will ever get his...
Yeah, that Infernal's killing his farms too.
Yeah, he will never get his MK back. Like, maybe at some point, but... He's going for another island here. And he really needs these islands. But they can be reached pretty easily here with a Zeppelin because you can protect the entire island. It's much easier to kill them. Like it's basically how do you call it? Like if it's a fight within the city, like if it's like a city war.
So all of a sudden, Godfather in the lead.
Yeah. Ooh, and backstab. Backstab? Is it? I don't know. No, maybe not. Be. I think they're both undecided if they should attack each other.
Right.
Wicked knows they can't take a fight against Godfather's heroes anymore. 776 is too much.
Yeah, and Pink is still destroying Purple's buildings.
Yeah.
Needs to somehow try to get peace with Pink. Yeah, that Infernal just destroyed all his farms.
Ooh, and he's finding the buildings. And there are still items to sell for LilTic, but there are not that many peasants left. So he has one peasant here on the island. There's one acolyte here. And the Infernal is doing a great job here in the base, so LilTic is down to 6 supply limit.
Oh, lost his peasant. He stormbolted the peasant.
Yeah.
Oh, revive the peasant. Nice. Stormbolt him again. Yeah, I was gonna say. Probably should have waited. Although he did finish the town hall.
Yeah, maybe it was worth it. But, I mean, he's still very supply blocked, so maybe it wasn't.
He can't fight without Mountain King either, so it's like...
Yeah. Yeah, he has no damage at all. And that's his round, is it? No, is... Oh, bash. Bash.
Did you get a bash?
Yes.
Oh, got it.
Oh, God.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
He has enough to surround him.
There are some more heals left here. But...
The,
Oh, that's a human orb effect that just... I always forget that human orb effect. Like in that case,
Oh,
it
the
was.
half heal thing?
Yeah, it was so
I forget
substantial.
about that too.
Like that heal was so low.
I forget about that too. What is it? 35% less healing or something, right?
They nerfed it. Yeah, 35% less.
Yeah.
That felt way less. Like that was nothing. Yeah, I see Godfather winning this. I mean, LilTic is... I mean, he's not supply blocked anymore. That's good news, I guess. And Godfather is up to 1.5k too, so there's like, he has a Zeppelin, and the Zeppelin has even a Sorg and a Priest in there, and 2 Footies.
Yeah, he has the gold, he has good heroes, mass TP, the base.
Yeah, so I
don't see how he loses at this point.
No, me neither. Oh, the Peasant! The Peasant! And that's almost level 6 for the Dark Ranger, nicely pulling away the other heroes. He will get level 6. Imagine Wicked wins this. Not impossible. Ooh. Ooh. Is this scouted? I don't think it is, but he will be revealed soon, right? Like, that was like 1.5 minutes ago?
I mean, he only has 1 hero, so... And he doesn't have enough for another farm. Well, I mean, he can build another farm.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, he just lost one, yeah.
Oh, yeah, and this farm is going to die. Honestly, I think Wicked should piece here.
Yeah, I think LilTic is gonna leave after he loses his...
Oh, Mass TP? Mass TP, but... that was a bait. Imagine Wicked gets stuck on that island. He has nothing on the mainland, except 1 Acolyte, and he has not enough gold for another Zeppelin.
I mean, he could TP here.
Oh, you're right, you're right, you're right. He has a TP still, yeah. Never mind.
Would be a funny way to lose, though.
Oh, this farm almost finished. Oh, and now he's revealed. Oh shit. So that altar is toast. But maybe Wicked pieces now. Like, Wicked should realize that Godfather has a huge main base still. So I think at this point it's pretty obvious that Godfather is the one to get teamed. And I'm always reading the Twitch chat with a 15-minute delay, where LilTic is clearly winning still. That's so fun. Yeah, finally 2 YouTube games on one day. I don't think we've had that. And also 2 casted games, like, it's even better. Really cool. Cool content.
Well, I'll tell you what, now that I'm also going to be working from home, so I'll try to cast more of these matches and you know, just
awesome.
stream more ladder games and too. So hopefully there's some silver lining with everyone having to stay home. We can revive the FFA community a little bit.
Like, if someone benefits from all that, it's the gamer communities. And like, at least not when it comes to offline events, but when it comes to online gaming. And I think this entire thing may still like, we might have to deal with that until like June, maybe? I don't know. I mean, we don't know yet. Maybe we have to stay inside until summer. Whoever, like, I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see.
Nice surround here on the Spellbreaker. Yeah, LilTic is... There's a gyro here at the top, killing that last farm. 1 tank dealing with a... Like they... Okay, yeah, LilTic is signaling peace here.
But why? And why not just leave? I mean, I guess, could he even, if he has 400 gold, 468 gold, has all his items and get an altar?
I mean, if he sells everything, I guess he could get 400k back. Maybe he can get back a hero? I don't know. Like, I mean, he could request an item by a wicket.
He's gonna lose this farm and then he won't be able to make the hero.
Oh yeah, true. He gets a new altar. I mean, he could in theory let his paladin die and then get another hero, but doesn't seem so. Ooh. GG. I mean, he played well, but then for a period of like 10 minutes, he played it way too sloppily, and then he... Wow. Anticlimactic ending here, but...
Yeah.
Definitely a fun game. So, yeah, LilTic in the lead. I mean, SyDe played, I think, best of all players, and then he was teamed out, so SyDe... Kudos to SyDe. I hope he's not too frustrated over that loss. But
he
yeah,
seemed to be pretty cool in the Twitch chat.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so that's a downside of being a strong player. Like every now and then you get teamed out for hero levels and skill. So Godfather winning this.
Yeah, I'd say Godfather arguably played the worst, at least early on in the mid game. But he played well at the end, and he didn't make any major mistakes, and he capitalized on LilTic making mistakes.
For sure, yeah. Yeah, that's what he did. Like, he and Wicked coordinated teaming very well, I'd say, for no chat, and that was the way to victory. They were able to, like, 3 undead and 3 human heroes together are always scary, so it's easy to just lose one of your heroes against that. Yeah, so we have like 40 minutes to the next game, I guess. When is it going to be?
Sounds good, man. I'm going to play a ladder game real quick, and I'll leave, obviously, if I don't have time. I can warm up a little bit. But thanks for letting me cast. I'll try to cast some more with you, and maybe we can do it a little bit more regular, which would be cool.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, appreciate it. Yeah, good luck for your match.